Robbie and I were surprised to find ourselves featured in that magazine. A little Kings of Con spread in that magazine. The good people of Entertainment Weekly, they get it.
They get it.
They know what time it is.
We actually didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
Until at the last convention, someone opened it up and had to sign it. And we're like, oh, look what you did here.
Look what you made at home. She goes, I didn't make it at home. Okay, you made it at work. I don't know. She's like, no, it's an actual magazine with you in it and you. And we said, get out of town. And she left town. So then we had to do more research. And it turns out it's a real magazine, Robbo. Oh, this is awesome. We've been so excited to come here since they told us we were coming to your town. This town is amazing. We got in last night, had the dinner of our lives. We're so excited for this weekend. I hope you're as fired up as we are, because we're fired up.
And what a weekend it's going to be, Rich.
Dude, tonight we have a little fete we like to call the karaoke party. It will be Halloween in theme. So,
and we're all coming?
Everybody's coming. I can't wait to see what the band dresses up like. Don't tell me yet, band.
I know.
Don't give it away.
Norton's got something planned that I think you're going to be really excited about.
It rhymes with stinky loots. Nobody gets that joke. No. Anywho, point is, we're dressing up, and we're getting nutty tonight. Then tomorrow night, we take that little musical ensemble over there, move them right here, and have ourselves a Saturday night concert like no other.
We're going to move the lectern for the concert, right?
The fuck we are. That stays right there. In fact, the lectern is sitting in on sitar. Take it, lectern! Carpet solo. Okay, we'll move the lectern. The point is, Saturday night special. Unbelievable show right here, right now. So exciting this weekend. Is so great. Forget the lectern and the dead trees. There's a lot of actual real things that are going to happen on the stage. They're going to be awesome. And all of it is going to be happening on stage while the gentle soundtrack of rock and roll music is played behind it. Like a score from a fine film. All of it provided by Loudon Swain, indie sensation. Loudon Swain over here to my left. Let's say good morning to the boys in the band. If you've never been to a con, you've never met them. You've seen them on YouTube, you listen to their albums. Now it's time to meet them face to face. On the drums, Mr. Stephen Norton. On the bass guitar, representing the latest in robot technology. The great thing about this creature that we've built from the ground up is he can have as many hurricanes as he wants and be not affected at all. I want to see that happen. Hurricane after hurricane after hurricane.
He is a bottomless hurricane.
Shouldn't ever affect him because he's not a man, he's a machine. Put your hands together, please, for Robot Michael Borja. Such a mellow little happy bass line. Watching a show starring Satan. It's all about Lucifer. I want to screw the lead actors. I love them. The guy in the trench coat is creepy. He looks like a perv. That's because he is one. What kind of jackal wears a raincoat when it's sunny outside? You're an angel, but you can feel the weather. Take the jacket off, a-hole. It's gotta smell like the devil's anus in the armpits. Can you imagine how shitty it must smell? And what do you do when you're in a public toilet? Do you hang it on the hook in the back? Lord knows the walls that thing has touched. It's been to heaven and hell and all around the United States. Take it to a fucking dry cleaners. You're killing me. I'm sorry, I snapped. Just had it. There's a lot of things that are not realistic about that show that I can let it go. Oh, sure, they die, they come back. Lucifer's walking around the earth. I buy it. I get it. But you're not going to wash that jacket? Nope, you lost me. Jump the shark. Wash the jacket. Killing me, not a stain on that thing. Doesn't make sense.
Maybe it's washed, you just don't see it.
One of these days, Robbie, that's going to be hanging in the Smithsonian next to Fonzie's jacket. Yeah, I said it. Misha's trench coat. The greatest thing to come out of World War I was Misha's trench coat. Speaking of World War I, a man who's constantly fighting a battle, trying to hold himself back from ruining your freaking life by breaking up your marriage. He is going to seduce one or both of your partners. Individually or separately or collectively together, he doesn't care. Marriage vows mean nothing to this man. Trust me, I know. I felt prey to his unholy wiles. There's nothing you can do. Look at the new fade he got. I mean, look at that haircut. Let me tell you something. You don't put bullets in the chamber unless you intend to fire. And that kid's got it on. The haircut, the jacket, the shoes, the pants, the shirt. He got fully dressed. Brushed his teeth, flossed, shined up those glasses. Let's talk about that beard. My God, that beard. That beard. That beard has broken 1,000 hearts. And now it's here to ruin your life. Oh, you may have come for Jared and Jensen, but you're going to stay for the guitarists, because they all do. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Moran. That's why the lectern's actually here, to hold me up when he solos, because I'm only human. Speaking of only human, you know him, you love him, and on television, you call him God. That's Rob Benedict. Robbie, give it to him, buddy. Go, go.
You made me cry when you said goodbye. Ain't that a shame? My tears fell like rain. Ain't that a shame? You're the one to blame.
New Orleans! Welcome to the Dog and Pony Show, kids. It's good to be here. Robbo, what a room, what a crowd, what a Friday, huh?
Loving it, New Orleans. We're already loving it. And we got to say, Fats Domino, we lost him this week. And that's,
I know. Tragic loss.
That was a Fats Domino song that we overlooked.
Living right down here in this fair city when he passed.
What a coincidence.
What an ironic.
We didn't really know that, did we?
Happenstance.
Anyway, that was for him. And yeah, rest in peace, Fats Domino.
Interesting trivia about him. A lot of people don't know this.
He's from New Orleans.
His Fats is actually his real name. His last name was Lowenstein, but his first name was Fats. People don't know that. It was short for.
Hey, too soon, my man. Too
soon?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'll tell you when it's too, Robo. I'll tell you when it's too soon. Never too soon. This is a satanically themed show. There are no boundaries.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, Bubba?
No, sir. You're yes-anding all over the place this morning. You're on fire.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? It's New Orleans. We started drinking at breakfast. I mean, it's not my fault. Hashtag blame the Cyclops or whatever those drinks are. I don't know what they're optically
hurricanes, man.
There's a
bottomless
color
hurricanes.
It's a color that doesn't exist in nature that comes in a giant funnel, and it's called a cocktail. I don't get it. It's enormous. The weird thing is, to you and me, it's like this giant, oversized novelty cup, and to Jared, it's like a cup of coffee. He's like, I'm going to need a couple of these to. You know, a lot of conventions would come to your fair city, deliver that kind of opening, which was just top shelf, gentlemen. And they'd fold up their tent and go home. They wouldn't deliver any more show because they would feel like they've done it They've given their all. That's all you get. We're leaving. But this isn't Vampire Diaries. This is Supernatural. And that's not how we end the show. That's how we start it. And then we make it even sweeter by bringing you A-level entertainment to kick off the weekend. So put your hands together for the dulcet tones of Mr. Gil McKinney.
I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hands in mine. I will be your preacher, teacher, anything you had in mind. I will be your father figure. I have had enough of crime. I will be the one who loves you till the end of time.
Quite the ending.
Not what I was imagining.
We wanted to land it soft.
Different. Good thing I didn't jump.
Yeah, I know, good thing we
Let's
didn't
do
jump.
that, actually. I'm going to jump. You do exactly what you just did.
It works.
Perfect.
Gilbert,
Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Hey, Richard.
you're a Texas fella. Have you been down here a lot? Have you been to Louisiana many, many times?
I've been to Louisiana a few times. I actually married a girl from Louisiana.
Wow.
So, yeah, from Lafayette.
Well done, sir.
So, yes, so my wife and daughter are here, and my in-laws are on their way into the city right now. So.
Oh, good. Then let me introduce you to clean, non-cursing Gil McKinney. It's a one Gil we've never seen before. I can't wait to watch this panel.
They're not here till 5 o'clock.
Okay, so
we got time.
here's filthy, dirty Gil McKinney.
Thanks,
Give him hell,
guys.
Gil.
Hey, are you guys dressing up tonight?
Yes.
Cool. Are you guys dressing up tonight? Richard likes to give me shit because he says I never dress up for karaoke, which isn't true. I just don't always. But sometimes the mood strikes, and I feel like this is New Orleans and this is Halloween, so I think everybody should be dressing up. Wow, this is quite a space. What a huge stage. I was, where was I last weekend? Oh, I was in New Jersey last weekend for a Once Upon a Time convention. Yeah, which Creation also does, and it was a really great show. But I swear, the backstage of that show was about 1/16 of this one. It was tiny. This is huge. This is one of the biggest stages I've ever seen. How we doing? Cool, cool. I need to get a costume for tonight. Good thing we're in New Orleans. I think they're pretty easy to find. I didn't bring anything, so I got to come up with something. I think there's actually, well, I know there's actually a costume shop right next door to the hotel that we're staying at, so I might have to walk in there later and see what I can come up with for karaoke tonight. Is it, thank you. Is there still a theme? Is it still circus, or is it just pretty much whatever the hell you want to do because we're in New Orleans? Circus? But it's Halloween, so there's some wiggle room, right? Cool, cool. I was eyeing a mesh bodysuit last night. The funny thing is I actually was for my wife. And as I was holding our 13-month-old baby girl, and the girl behind the counter said, no babies in here. No children. And I thought she was joking. And then I realized she was looking at me, holding my daughter, looking at a mesh bodysuit. And she's like, out. So I got kicked out of a costume shop last night. I was like, just trying to get something nice for the wife. Okay? My bad. I'll just put the baby at the bar next door and be right back. They probably accept her there. Oh, wow. Anybody here for the first time at a Supernatural convention for the first time? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's like, I'd say almost half of you guys. Well, this is a good city to do it in. Anybody first time in New Orleans? Well, we were really excited when we heard they were adding New Orleans because this is such a cool city, and I haven't been here in a few years, so it's nice to be back. Amazing food in this city, obviously amazing music, and an incredible convention this weekend. So thank you guys so much for coming. I'm just going to take a little stroll. Because after you do these shows for a few years, you kind of have to mix it up. How's it going? Plus, the sound is, this is much better. I can actually hear myself. What's up, V? How you doing, girl? Who is that? Goodness gracious. What is your name?
Holly.
Holly, are you okay? She's dying right now. What's up? You already lost your voice? This is way too early to lose your voice. Hey, I love you guys. How's it going? Yes. They're like, yes, I'm coming over. Love you all. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask, feel free. Just don't ask me too many weird ones about what Henry Winchester would do if he met certain characters. Hey, can you have a hug? Sure.
Oh my God, can I have one too?
How's it going? What's your name?
Abby. Alex.
Are you guys friends? Did you come here together? You're sisters? Who's older? You're older? You're older mentally. Well played. That's hilarious. Do you guys have any? Can you have a selfie with me? I would love to give you a selfie, but if I give you a selfie, then everyone in this auditorium is going to want a selfie. Do you have a question for me? My favorite episode that I got to record? That I got to be in? Oh, man, this is so hard. So many to choose from. Wow. I mean, between the two, yeah, it's definitely the first one where you meet Henry. Although Mother's Little Helper was fun too. I got to work with Misha on that one, so that was pretty cool. They were both great. But the first one I think was, as time goes by, was much more fun because I was in pretty much every scene, and I was new on the show, and that was when I had high hopes, you know. Do I think I'll come back? I sure hope so, but I'm starting to lose hope, you guys. I don't know. I think at some point they're going to have to get back to Henry. At least maybe I'll get to make an appearance of some kind. But I hear there's like an alternate universe now. So, I mean, really anything goes on the show, right? I mean, Mary's back. If Mary's back, where the hell is Henry? I would love to come back. It's such a fun show to work on. Really, probably one of the most fun times I've ever had working on a show. Wait. Take a picture. What's up? See some familiar faces. How are you? Very good. Ashley, how's it going? Are you recording this? There's a lot of people here. This is just Friday. How are you? Pardon me? Friday people are the best people. Seriously, I love Friday people. I see some sweet people actually waiting in line here. Do you have a question? Fire away. Testing.
So the men of letters of Henry's generation and before were criticized for being pretty sexist and not recognizing the talents that women can contribute. Do you think Henry recognize the value of wayward women like Josie, and would Gil be willing to consider guest starring for Wayward Sisters?
Wow, that's a very well-written question. Well, I'll answer the second part first. Of course, I would love to be a guest on Wayward Sisters. I would love to. I'd love to do anything involved with the supernatural world, because this whole world has been so good to me. I mean that. Like, I had no idea that doing a guest star on Supernatural was going to be so life-changing. And it really, like, it's just been one of the greatest things that's happened to me in my life. And so anything I could do to continue to be a part of it or give back, I'm more than willing to do. And how exciting that they are actually shooting a pilot for a very exciting spinoff as we speak. So yeah. And I'd love to go work with those girls, you know. I mean, you know, a Men of Letters spinoff would have been cool too, but, you know, it's fine. It's totally fine. I'm not upset. I mean, it's cool. You know, I mean, I'm so happy for them. It's their time, you know. Henry, yeah, you know, I think Henry, it's been a while since I've thought about Henry. Henry, he's old school. You know, I definitely don't think Henry is sexist. I think Henry, he's an old school kind of guy. You know, he's you know, but he's a gentleman. But I do think you hit on something. I think that he saw something in Josie, other than some great looks. I think he saw something in her that he saw the potential, and I don't think he cared whether she was a man or a woman. They are the Men of Letters, so maybe this was kind of a groundbreaking kind of thing, and maybe it was the Women of Letters were soon to follow. But yeah, I think he saw a great talent in Josie and a lot of potential. I do think, I mean, I felt like there was a little bit of a spark between them. I don't want to say romantically, but like, because Henry's married and happily married and faithful. But I mean, she's a pretty good-looking woman, so I mean. Yeah, you know, but they enjoyed working together, and I think they respected each other. So yeah, but anyway, I'm really excited for those girls, and I hope that this spinoff actually works and takes off. And it's a huge reason they're getting to do it is because of you guys, obviously. So well done, thank you. Hey.
Hi. My name is Randy. And I was wondering what the Supernatural family was like versus working with the Once Upon a Time family.
Supernatural versus Once Upon a Time. Whoa. Some once haters. You know, I get this question. You know, they were very different experiences. I'll be honest. I mean, you guys won't repeat any of this, right? You guys don't record this or put anything online ever. So, no, both great groups. I will say that working on Supernatural was I've said this before so many times, but it's a very special experience. And it starts with Jared and Jensen. They make everybody feel so welcome and a part of, and they definitely made me feel that way when I joined. And then this whole thing was so unexpected, and you guys were so wonderful in welcoming me into this whole crazy fandom and getting to do these conventions. So, Once Upon a Time was a little bit different experience. I mean, I didn't spend. I'd say I did 4 episodes of Once Upon a Time, but most of the time when I was up there, it was kind of in and out. I would go shoot one little thing and leave. You know, I wasn't ever there for like an extended period of time, so I didn't really get to know many of the regulars very well. Didn't get to spend as much time with them, and they're kind of new-ish. I mean, compared to you guys, the Once Upon a Time fandom is kind of new to this whole thing, so they're still kind of finding their way as far as the conventions go. But I will say, in New Jersey last weekend, they started to come around. Like, there was a really good turnout, and like they're starting to kind of figure it out and kind of like settle into it. But they're not as experienced with this whole thing as Supernatural is, that's for sure. But they're really sweet. I try to watch my language more when I'm with Once Upon a Time, because there tends to be more children in the audience. And apparently saying the F word multiple times in front of an 8-year-old girl is not cool. I don't know. That's just something I picked up on. Yeah, but they're both great. I feel really lucky that I got to, do a handful of episodes on both shows, and lucky enough for me, I got to do these shows with Creation, and then Creation was like, "Hey, we're going to do Once Upon a Time too. Do you want to be a part of that?" And I said, "Hell yeah, I'm really lucky." So, hi.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Hey.
Hi. Hello? Okay, it's working.
Hello. Is it on?
Yes, it is. So you just released your new EP album, and
Yeah.
I was wondering if you have anything else planned for later on, if you're doing it right now, or.
Wait, sorry. The sound is it's just really echoey up here. What was that again? Say it again. Coming over.
That's okay. Do you have anything planned later on to do more of that?
Yes. Well, yes, I am planning on making more music, for sure. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, a couple months ago, I released an EP, thanks to you guys. Back in February, I launched a Kickstarter with Jason Manns to do my first solo EP, and you guys backed it, and it just meant so much to me. And so you made it happen. And then not only that, when it came out, you supported it, you downloaded it, you streamed it, you ordered it online. It's just been, the response has been really, really amazing. So yes, I want to write more music. On the EP, there's 7 songs. There's 5 covers. There's 2 originals, one that I wrote and then one that Jason co-wrote. So when I do this again, I want to write more of my own music and have it be mostly originals with just a few covers. So that's the plan. So yeah, I'm giving it some thought and trying to figure out, how I want to go about doing that. But the response has been great. And the first 2 days, it was the #1 jazz album on iTunes. And yeah, which was so weird. And but it just shows the power of the Supernatural fandom, really. And it broke the top 100 albums of all time. For a day, it was in the top 100, and it got up to number 69. Calm down. It got up to number 69, and it was in between Queen Greatest Hits and Guns N' Roses Greatest Hits. So I was like, screenshot that shit, frame it, put it on the wall, in the bathroom. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, and then somebody contacted me from Billboard magazine, and it charted on the Billboard charts. Yeah. It was at one point it was in between. My EP was in between Norah Jones and Patti LaBelle, so that was pretty cool. I've been trying to catch Patti LaBelle for years now. Finally got her. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing that up. And I don't know, at some point, I'm pacing everywhere today. At some point, I'm going to be in the vendor room today or tomorrow or both. I'm not sure, but I brought a bunch of CDs with me. So I'll be out there at some point. I'll let you guys know. I'll announce it. I'll tweet about it. And I'll be signing CDs in the vendor room. So if you don't have it, I know a lot of you already do. So thank you so much. But if you don't, you want one, come see me this weekend. Hey.
Hello. I was just curious, has there been any more talk about your character coming back on Once Upon a Time? And what was your reaction when you got cast as a classic, iconic character?
There has been no talk that I'm aware of, but I would be the last one to hear about it. I promise you that. Because a lot of times in TV, the way they work is they literally will call you, on like a Thursday and be like, can you be in Vancouver on Monday? It moves pretty quick. So I'm unaware of any talk. I know that Once Upon a Time is they've kind of rebooted their show. They're in season 7. they've kind of rebooted it in a way and going off in a different direction. But it's one of those shows, too. I think any character can come back at any time. I think one of the things, fortunately for Joanna Garcia, who played Ariel, she works a lot. So she's always got a show. So every time I see Joanna on a new show, I'm like, oh, cool. So probably not going back to Once Upon a Time anytime soon. I'm like, I'm so happy for you, Joanna. It's great. You got another show. That's cool. How's it working with Jason Ritter? Anyway, I'm joking, but not really. No, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. And with Once Upon a Time, unless they want Prince Eric to be hooking up with somebody else, which I'm totally down with, I kind of need Joanna to be available to be on the show. So, did someone scream no about Prince Eric work? Not cool? Eric and Jasmine, maybe? Mix it up? No? She's like, no, not cool, Eric. It's not cool. You're not that guy. To be honest with you, I was very surprised that I booked Prince Eric. I don't know why. I don't know. I went in. It was a similar experience with getting Supernatural. Actually, I read for it once. I went into the studio to the casting office in Burbank on like a Wednesday afternoon, and there were a handful of other guys there. Reading for the role of a prince. We didn't even know at that point what prince it was. It just was like some fake prince because they didn't want to let people know what they were casting because it was such a big deal. So I went in and I read for this prince, and I did like 2 scenes on tape, and then they sent the tape to Vancouver because the producers were in Vancouver, and they watched it, and then like the next day I found out that I was going to be a prince on Once Upon a Time. And I was so excited, and then it wasn't until like a day or 2 later that a buddy of mine texted me and was like, hey, congratulations on booking Prince Eric on Once Upon a Time. And I was like, Prince Eric? What are you talking about? He's like, didn't you book Prince Eric? I'm like, you mean like Prince Eric, Prince Eric? Like Little Mermaid, Prince Eric? He's like, yeah, you didn't know? And I'm like, well, yeah, I knew I booked a prince, but they didn't tell me what role. They never told me. I don't know why. Like, that's, when I say we're the last to know anything, that's like a perfect example. They didn't even bother to like let me know that it was Prince Eric until a friend of mine informed me. And I saw something on the internet about it. I was like, cool, that's great. I got to get a new manager. Anyway, so I was super excited. But obviously, those are big shoes to fill. Prince Eric's one of the more lovable of the Disney princes, I think. I mean, my knowledge of Disney princes is so vast. It will be. Yes, right, it will be. You're right. I haven't really started watching the Disney movies with, hey, welcome, guys. I mean, I've been on stage for like half an hour, but it's cool. Whatever. Take your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I haven't really started watching a lot of the Disney movies with my daughter yet, 'cause she's only 13 months old, so her attention span is about 10 minutes, and we're trying to limit the amount of TV and video that she's watching right now, though it's really tough sometimes, you just want to just sit down and watch that and leave me alone for 5 minutes so I can get some coffee. But like when I was leaving the hotel to come here, I'm like, bye, Vivi, bye. And she's like, didn't even look at me. She was just like on the TV. And I went over in front of the TV. I'm like, bye. And she's like, it's so sweet. She's like, could you move, please? You're blocking my view. Go to your convention. Get out of here. I did play Trolls for her, though. That's a really cute movie. Trolls. She likes that one. She's like, holy shit, what is this? All those trolls come out dancing with their hair, and there's one called Guy Diamond. He's like bedazzled, and his voice is like auto-tuned. That's my favorite troll. But anyway, the look on her face, first time I played Trolls for her, she was just like, whoa. She was so excited. And it's got good music and a lot of dancing, and she, kids are so cute, especially at that age. They start to try to dance, and it's really funny. So I played that one for her, but I haven't played any of the classics yet, saving those, I watch them all the time myself, but just kidding. It's been a while. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I was wondering if you could tell us, somebody asked you about what your favorite episode was, but I was a little more specific about maybe what was your favorite scene to film, either because it was fun or because it was challenging or for whatever reason.
Favorite scene? Oh, wow. Well, see, and as time goes by, I had a lot of really fun scenes. It was hands down the best guest star I'd ever booked. I booked a lot of like suspects on various shows. You know, I didn't do it. Like, when I did, just a lot of that shit that gets really old. But this one was special, and there were a lot of really fun scenes. Wow, let me think. I mean, I think the first scene we shot, in fact, I know the very first thing we shot was Henry jumping out of the closet. That was a fun one. And kind of like cool, and you know, your first scene on your first day, you're a little nervous, you know, and I'm jumping out of this closet, and Jared and Jensen are standing there. That was kind of fun. Probably anything having to do with the Impala, though. Yeah, like the scene when I come out of the motel room and I'm realize what year it is, and I break the window in the Impala. That was fun.
Dean didn't like that.
That was really fun. And we did that in one take because they were like, all right, so there's these little charges in the breakaway glass, and we're going to time this. Like, you got to sell it, you know, sell that hit. And we timed it perfectly, and the thing just fell out. And I was like, thank God I got it on the first try because that's like they would have to take at least 30 minutes to reset that, and I didn't want to, like, slow things down. So, yeah, that whole sequence with the Impala was fun, and then Dean coming up and putting the gun in my face in the Impala. That was pretty cool.
That's what happens when you break the Impala.
What's that?
I said, that's what happens when you break the Impala.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize that's kind of a big deal. I had no idea that's pretty much a no-no. Yeah, and then that whole day, that whole sequence, when we drove out of the motel room parking lot in the Impala, was pretty fun. I think I was riding shotgun. I think Jared was in the back seat, and Jensen was driving. And Jensen just freaking floored it. He just laid on the gas and floored it out of that parking lot so fast. And we had no seatbelts on. I didn't know he was going to do that. Nobody told me that we were actually, like, getting out of there. And he just slams on the gas, and we fly out of the parking lot, and I'm just hanging on for dear life. And we bounce out into the street, which I didn't know police had blocked off the street, so it was completely safe, but nobody told me. And I'm like, oh! And we, like, fly out into the street, and Jensen just does, like, a full, like, 360, like, spins the Impala in the middle of the street. Maybe it wasn't 360. It was at least a 180. But, like, and I was just, like screaming, and my heart was just like, and we got done. We came to a screeching halt, and Jared was so excited. Jared was so happy. He was like, just like fist pumping. And I can't remember which one of them. I think Jensen turned to me and was like, you need some new shorts? And I did. I had to bring a couple more pair. It was going to be a long week with those two guys. Better have some extra underwear. You know what they say about working with Jared and Jensen? Bring extra undies. Nobody says that. I don't know. They probably should, though. Yeah, so that was a fun day. That was a really fun day. And that's when I kind of started to relax a little bit and have fun. You know, like your first day or two on a new show. I don't know. At least for me, I sometimes can be a little high strung or a little nervous, whatever. But it worked for Henry, you know. It worked for the character. But there was like another time when we were in the motel room and I'm handcuffed to a chair or something, and in the sequence, Henry somehow like gets out, he magically unhandcuffs himself, and I tried to really do that, and like cut my wrist on the handcuffs. I'm like, ah. And Jensen's like, bro, this is pretend. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, Jensen. My bad. See, we're gonna cut, and then we're just gonna take the handcuffs off of you, and then magically, you don't have them anymore. I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. You guys are such smart actors.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Hi, I'm Allison.
Allison, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My question was, what initially attracted you to the role of Henry Winchester? And if he came back, whether it be on Supernatural or the spinoff, what kind of storyline would you want for him?
Wow. The second part of that question is harder, so I'll try to answer it first. Storyline. I just, I don't know. I'd love to have anything with John, really. Some sort of reunion with Henry and John. Yeah. I think I feel like that's something that needs to happen at some point. I feel like there's a lot of things that haven't been said that need to be said, and a lot of misunderstanding. And whether that's with Matt Cohen or Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I don't really care, but I'd rather work with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I'm just kidding. I like saying that because it just makes me giggle. Because I love Matt. I love Matt so much, and Matt and I've gotten to be such good friends. And it would be really, actually, I would prefer to do that scene with Matt. But Jeffrey Dean would be cool too. I'm just saying. Yeah. So anything getting to reunite with John, I think. And as far as what attracted me to the role, a job, really. A paying acting job. You just go in on auditions, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're right and you don't get it, just one of those things. But this one, for some reason, it fit. And when they sent it to me, honestly, the first thing I thought was I had no idea the show was still on. I really didn't. I knew of the show because I tested for it when it was a pilot, but it took them 8 years to get back to me. And, 8 years. They're like, oh, man, he's just not really right for Sam. But in season 8, Sam and Dean's grandfather, Henry, we'll save him for that. Yeah, so I got lucky enough that after 8 years, they sent me an audition. Honestly, I promise you they didn't even remember that I read for the pilot because it had been that long, and things change. But I got the audition, and it was I think 3 scenes, and I thought it was cool. There was like something to it, but I didn't really know a whole lot about the show, honestly. I mean, I only knew what I knew from like the pilot and the first couple seasons. But I was really excited, and I went in and I read. Same kind of thing with Once Upon a Time. It was like a Wednesday or a Thursday, and I went in and I read, and there were a bunch of other guys there, and I think Elena went in the room right before me to read for Abaddon, and then I went in, and it went really well. I mean, I felt really, really, it was one of those auditions I felt really strongly about, but still, that doesn't always mean you're going to get the part. And I vividly remember driving away, and my manager called me. He was like, well, what'd you think? And I was like, I felt really great about it. I don't think I'm going to get it, though, for some reason. And he was like, well, I think you are, because they already called, and they're really interested. So that's a nice call to get, You don't always get those calls. Yeah, and within a couple days, I think like 2 days, I was flying to Vancouver, and I was having coffee with Serge Leducer, who's a director of photography on the show since the beginning, if I'm not mistaken, and he was getting to direct his first episode. So he reached out to me and wanted to have coffee with me to talk about my character, which never happens in TV, ever, at least in my experience. So that was really cool. So within a couple days, I was sitting in a coffee shop. It was a rainy day in Vancouver, go figure, and I'm sitting there having coffee with Serge, and we're talking about Henry and like who Henry is, and I'll never forget one of the things he told me that kind of clicked a little bit is I told him I kind of saw Henry a bit like Indiana Jones, and he said he's more like Indiana Jones' father, and like the Sean Connery, and I was like, yes, oh yeah, that actually, and that kind of clicked. so yeah, he was very helpful in getting me kind of off to a good start with that. And we had a fantastic time. I was there for a week, and then we had Thanksgiving, so I went home, and then I went back after Thanksgiving, shot for another week. So it was quite a fun time working in Vancouver, and hanging out with Jared and Jensen's all right too. They definitely made me, feel welcome, and I had a really fun time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Yeah, y'all can. You don't have to clap. You can if you want. Whatever. But just because somebody else isn't clapping doesn't mean that you shouldn't clap. If that makes sense. There you go. Hey.
Hey, Gil. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Since she's not here and I want to bring her up anyways, what is your favorite memory of just Kim? You and Kim.
My favorite memory of Kim.
I did not know how to word that. Sorry.
Wow. I'm trying to think if something in particular really jumps to mind. I know what story she would tell, which I frankly don't have a memory of, which is kind of weird. She would say that the first time she came on to do a convention, because was I here before her or after her? I can't remember.
What did you say?
Did I start doing the conventions before or after Kim?
I think after Kim.
After?
After Kim.
Okay. So I was like fairly new, and I think we were backstage at karaoke, and something wasn't going right, or the crowd wasn't into it, or whatever. And Kim made some comment about like that, and I said, "I'm doing the best I can." She was like, "Whoa, somebody's wound a little tight." I've come a long way. I just really wanted to do a good job at karaoke, you guys. Wow, Kim, when I think of Kim, I just think of, a real friend, somebody who's always there. Like, if I need somebody on the phone, she's someone who's always going to pick up the phone and be there for me. She's such a good person. We had a great time in Germany. This past summer, I got to do a convention in Italy, and then in Dusseldorf, Germany, and Kim was there for that. And I don't know, I just have fond memories of just talking with her. Mm-hmm. She's a great listener. She's got a lot of great advice, and she's a really smart lady, and I'm really happy for her. I think nobody deserves this more than she does. I remember vividly.
Yes.
Yeah, a year or two ago, sitting in the green room at one of these shows with her, and she was like, "I think I'm done. I don't know that I can do this anymore. I think it's okay that I'm telling the story. I hope it's okay with her." Too late. She was just having one of those, she was going through it a little bit, and she was just like, I don't know that I can do this anymore. I think, it's like, because it's hard sometimes, I've been going through a kind of a rough patch a little bit, work-wise, but I'm glad she hung in there, and mm-hmm. things have swung her way. So hopefully it continues to for her, because she's very deserving. Not everyone in this business is, if I may say so, but she's one of the good ones.
Yep. Thank you, Gil.
Thank you. Hey. Thank you.
She's telling your time's almost up.
She what?
I said she was telling you time is almost up.
Yeah, I know. Don't listen to her. She doesn't even work here.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Rebecca, and my question for you was, how do you feel about the direction that Men of Letters took in this last season?
Well, I watched those episodes so many times. From what I've learned, I hear they're kind of dicks. Yeah, I don't know. I hear it's not going well. I hear they're not representing my Men of Letters very well. These English guys come over here and take all the acting jobs and then all the Men of Letters jobs. What the hell? In one fell swoop, the Men of Letters has been hijacked by a bunch of Brits. I hear it's not good. I hear that they are quite the group. And I really fully intend on watching those episodes. I do, because, no, don't laugh, I do. I just have a child now. It's kind of hard to find time. I'm like, baby, no, I'm watching Supernatural. Come on. I really need to see what's happening with the Men of Letters. I had the pleasure of meeting Adam Fergus and David Hayden Jones in Rome. So I got to meet both those guys, and they're both characters, and especially that Adam Fergus. So not only am I curious about the storyline, but I'm really curious to see those guys on the show, because I think they're both really cool, very talented actors from what I can tell. So yeah. I hear it's not good, though. I think Henry needs to come back.
Yeah, he does. Thank you, and you have a good weekend.
Thank you. Hey.
Hi. So I know somebody already asked about your EP, but I wanted to know what your favorite song off of it was.
My favorite song off of the EP, well, that's a tough one to answer. I don't want to honestly, I love my song because it's the first song I ever wrote. So I'd be lying if I said it's not my favorite. I wrote it for my dad, who I lost about a year and a half ago. So it's a very personal song, and so I love it from that standpoint. And if you're coming to the show tomorrow night, which I know all of you are, I'm going to be doing that song here tomorrow night. Tomorrow night with Loud and Swain, I'll be doing that song. So yes, I love that song. Jason Mann's song is also great. That's actually my wife's favorite, which is weird. I'm like, really? I mean, it's pretty good, but I'm like, you like his better than mine, babe? All right, whatever. No, I'm just kidding. But Jason's song is also really, really good. And then of the covers that are on there,